I worked in restaurants in high school, and there were other people that I worked with from other countries, and so they did not have an education, and I would work with them. They were Spanish speaking, and so I taught them English. They taught me Spanish, and at that moment I kind of knew that I wanted to be a teacher and teach other people a language, and so that's what I did. I taught Spanish. I taught German for 1 year when Starr's Mill opened. I had had 3 years of German, and so I taught German 2 and 3 because at that time you could teach one class out of field. And so I taught German 2 and 3 the first year that Starr's Mill opened, and then I taught Spanish for the rest of the time that I was at Starr's Mill. To me, they're big kids, but you can have reasonable conversations with them, and you can kind of change the trajectory of a student's path. And so, you know, some students know what they want to do with their life, but a lot of students don't know what they want to do with their life. And I felt like as a Spanish teacher, that was just another door, another opportunity to make the world a better place. And so that's kind of why I became a teacher, but also why I enjoy high school so much, is because I felt like as they branched out into the world, students were able to see different things because they are high school students. You know, when you're in elementary school, you try lots of things. When you're in middle school, you try lots of things. But then when you're in high school, it's like you're actually going out into the world to do those things. And so I felt like as a high school teacher, that made a big difference. So I actually got my educational leadership degree back in 2001, but my kids were little. And so I was never worried about the 8 to 4 part of being an administrator. It was more the nights and the weekends part. And so in 2016, I left Starr's Mill, went to Fayette County, or not to Fayette County, to Coweta County, to a middle school, and I taught middle school for 2 years. I missed high school a lot. I enjoyed the 2 years, but I missed high school kids a lot. And so I decided I wanted to come back, and the opportunity presented itself as an assistant principal. And I had applied for an assistant principal position or two previous to that, but my kids were much older, so I felt like it was something that the 8 to 4 part wasn't a problem anymore. The nights and the weekend part wasn't a problem anymore because I could do both. When you have older kids, it gives you a little bit more flexibility. And so I felt like on a bigger scope, you know, I didn't have my classroom. I could go and help in lots of classrooms and in the hallways and in the cafeteria and at sporting events and things like that. So it just made me feel like I could do a lot more. I love any time that I get back in a classroom. I enjoy getting to see all the different subject areas, and it makes me realize just how connected every subject is to other subjects and just life in general, all the real life practice, all the hands-on things that people do, but also like if I'm in a math classroom, how that impacts a science classroom, how that impacts engineering, you know, just so on and so forth, and it all builds. And so I get to see the connections a lot more, where as a teacher in my one classroom, I got to see it there, but I didn't get to see it across the building. And so it's neat to be able to see that across the whole building. I want kids to know people care, and to stretch themselves. You know, a lot of times adults and students don't give themselves enough credit. And I think that if you have people that believe in you and will push you, that you will really expand your horizons and push yourself more, you know, because you know that people care about you and you're willing to take that chance. And so I think that's what I want kids to know. You know, yes, there's the rules, yes, there's the things that we have to do and all that kind of stuff, but knowing that you can talk to somebody, knowing that there's a door open, and knowing that people care about you, I think that pushes you to want to do better academically, athletically, and just in the world as a whole.